right, today we're going to go through the pruning and harvesting of a blackcurrant plant we've got right here. It's ripe, it's ready. As you can kind of see, generally speaking, the plant itself, you can see how it's kind of up, and it's also kind of has these lower branches down here, and that's going to be kind of the efforts of our pruning. If you want to come in here, you can see how the berries form kind of on the inside edge of the bush here. You've got a line there. They kind of tend to form in this bottom lower third of the branches, and it's a similar plant where each cane, as the cane gets older, will fruit. Not all canes fruit. You see the color difference between this newer one here is kind of this really light color, and you get down in here and you've got a darker, more aged look of a cane here. So this is the first year cane. This would be a second year cane, or an older, potentially a third year cane. But the main idea being, if we step back just a little bit, you kind of see how we've got these like crowns, 3 or 4, that kind of occur in clusters. You'll want to try to address the plant as each cluster as a crown. So you see these 4 are kind of all straight up and nice. When you go to prune that, you're going to want to take the branches that are basically lower down and kind of cut them at a little bit of an angle, so that you're getting rid of this side sprawl, so that whenever you prune the lower branches, they kind of come back into this length, so that your plant grows up in kind of that width, rather than letting it sprawl out here and take out these other plants next to them. So you'll want to come in here, and as you can see lower down, we've got these lower ones here, lots of berries. You'll want to try to get as close as you can to the base of the plant when possible. But for instance, where you've got a new cane and an older cane on the same run, you won't want to wipe this cane out by cutting further back. You'll want to cut above that at a slight angle to take the older one. So that's just kind of a general thought when you're going through. Obviously, if you cut, if you go far enough back, you'll get rid of all of your canes. You won't have a plant anymore. So we'll do a cut here. Cut's fairly easy with just a nice bypass snips. You can see the berries. We'll pull those off ourselves later, but we'll just gently take this and put it aside.
One of the perks of pruning while you're picking your berries or after they're ripe is then you have the ease of just bringing this inside and pull the berries off. However, if you don't want to do it at the same time, and I guess it's not that easy to prune while you do it, but then you don't have to come back here twice. Otherwise, you can come in and just cut off like each cluster of berries, like so, and pull those off each at a time, which you'll have to do either way, but this way it's kind of at a more workable height.
Yep, and another reason we like to harvest with the berries is because then you're able to track the canes that have produced fruit versus the canes that haven't a little bit more easily, versus later on in the summer when these new canes start to look like older canes. It's hard to tell where's the new plant and the old plant, and it's important with these cane style plants to make sure you're getting that good prune in there to kind of revitalize it for the next year. Otherwise, they kind of tend to stagnate with the older canes, inhibiting the growth of the new ones.
And how do we know when to pick the currants?
So you'll see here we've got just the nice color to them. Earlier in the year, these are translucents. You're going to be wanting to have a gentle, I don't know what you want to say, not firmness, but it'll go from being a very hard berry to a little bit softer. You can see there's a nice amount of give there. And the longer you wait, the more sugar that'll tend to develop, but it is a berry fruit, so it will ripen off of the plant as well. So if you pull these off and they're a little bit, they're not as sweet as you'd like, you can let them sit in a little bit and they'll continue.
In a lot of cooking situations, you'll actually want these, like this one might not be quite there, but it actually is pretty close to what you'd want. Some of these might actually be a little bit overripe for what you're looking for. A lot of times we waited a little bit longer, but you want them to be this nice deep color and just slightly soft.
Here's a unripened one right here. You
A
can
lot
kind
of
of
them
see
will
the
be.
colors that they go from.
So you'll want this deep color, and you'll want them to still So these are just about perfect here, where they're a little bit firm still, like they're just starting to soften, and that will buy you a little bit more time, whether you store them in the fridge or they should be a little bit higher in pectin if you're making a jam. Otherwise, that is how you can see already it looks quite a bit cleaner, and just those 2 branches he got out. Otherwise, if you have any questions, be sure to comment down below. Anything else you'd like to add on our currant bushes?
Nope. It's like I said, when in doubt, you can, you know, always take a step back and look at how the bush is doing overall. Of course, we've got another plant right here. You know, we want to maintain some space between them, so that'll maybe prune more on this side than I would on the other. But yeah.
Otherwise, stay tuned for recipes using our black currants, and check out our other garden videos for growing and pruning and harvesting. Thanks so much, and be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day.